welcome. Thanks for checking us out tonight. We're having coffee and getting ready to chat it up with tonight's special guest here at Potomac Station Coffee House in Dormont. We have a great show coming your way, but first, I'm Valerie, that's David, and this is the Gen X Pittsburgh Podcast. A longtime fixture in Pittsburgh's music and wine scene. We're excited to be hanging out tonight with Tim Gaber.
It's very exciting.
I know, the buzz poets
Yeah.
and a winemaker. Holy moly, you can't ask for more.
I remember in college, a girl wearing a Buzz Poets shirt. I don't even know where she got it from. I hope they sold Buzz Poets shirts or else I'm misremembering a story, right? But she wore it like every day.
Really?
I swear to you. Yes.
It's fun, happy music. I was listening to him this week.
I was too. The self-titled album. And I have to tell you, it is really, it sticks with you.
Yeah.
It does.
Oh, yeah. I love the lyrics. They're brilliant.
It reminded me of, I'm going to say this, and then Tim's going to say, what are you thinking, right? But like early Goo Goo Dolls is what it reminded me of. Early Goo Goo Dolls before Superstar Car Wash and A Boy Named Goo and things like that.
Okay.
That's just what I heard. But hey, we have a big news this week.
Yes, we do.
The Gen X Pittsburgh Podcast has just signed a deal with WQED, which is sort of, every kid, Gen X kid grew up with WQED in Pittsburgh, right?
Oh, yes.
Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, the Electric Company. Then when you got a little older and you discovered extracurricular activities, there was Bob Ross, right? Yeah. And then when you get a little bit older, there's the Ken Burns, right? So it's aged right along with us.
Yeah.
And it's really exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, to be a part of this team is just it's so exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think we should thank everyone that's been a part of this, everyone that's really stuck with us in the beginning while we were figuring this out, and we can't wait to bring you the show every week on WQED.
Yes, thank you guys so much. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And we have a great show. We're going to take a quick sponsor break and we'll be right back with Tim Gaber. We are back in the Gen X Pittsburgh Podcast, and welcome back. Tim Gaber, thanks for joining us and hanging out with us tonight. We're so excited to have you.
Thanks for having me, Valerie. Appreciate that.
Can't wait to learn more about your background and what's ahead for you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Happy to share.
We always start off by asking our guests, where did you grow up? How was your upbringing? Did you hang out on the yacht? Or, did you go to the Poconos? What was your growing up like?
My growing up was wonderful. I grew up in Jefferson Hills, right here in the South Hills.
That's where my husband's from.
Yeah, so grew up kind of next to a farm, so played in the woods a lot and did all the things that we used to do as kids that,
Yeah, nobody does anymore, that's right.
Yeah, we weren't on our phones. We were out playing.
Yeah?
Yeah, and it was great.
So when did you get into music? Was that in high school? Was that younger?
Yeah, I started playing music a little bit in high school. I started playing guitar.
Okay.
And just fooled around with it a little bit. And then when I went up to IUP to college, I was playing a little bit up there and joined a fraternity, Sigma Chi fraternity. And then a friend of mine at the college had a bass. And I said, can I borrow that and check it out? I never played one of these. I played the bass and I was like, whoa, I'm playing the wrong instrument.
Yeah.
So I said, you're not getting it back. I bought it from him.
Yeah.
And from that point forward, that's what I played. Got into a band immediately.
Yeah. And so what year was that? When were you in college?
I was in college from 85 or 84. But this was started in 86. The band started in 86.
Yeah.
It was my first band.
Okay.
And that was up at IUP. And I just had a reunion with that band for the first time in 38 years.
Oh my gosh,
We-
how exciting.
Yeah, we hadn't even seen each other in 38 years, and we did a reunion this summer, and it was amazing.
Yeah, who was it? What was the name
The
of it?
name of the band was D.A. Reb Me. And we started right across the street from the Clarks at the same exact time. They weren't
Okay.
even the Clarks at the time. They were called the Administration, but
Yeah.
we were all friends and played music together. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we will get into that because you really do have a storied past, I think. I'm talking about you specifically with the Pittsburgh music scene and just you. I mean, you really enmeshed in the culture.
yeah, I've been really fortunate to be involved so much for so long.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you played with a friend of ours, with Brownie Mary, with Kelsey Friday.
Oh, yes, yeah,
That's
that
crazy.
was great. Yeah,
I
that
love
was.
that.
Yeah, that was in the early mid-90s. I played with Brownie Mary for a couple years, toured
Yeah.
with them, and that was great. And I was just mentioning to you earlier that I sit in with them when they play at my venue, the original Pittsburgh Winery, and then I subbed and played a whole gig with them on the 4th of July, and that was a lot of
That's
fun.
so cool. I bet
Yeah.
that was. I bet that was.
So what were some of your influences? Specifically you. I don't mean the bands, but
Geez, they're all across the map. I mean, I did listen to, I listened to a lot of the, like the folksy stuff, everything from that to jazz.
Okay.
And a lot of R&B, soul, funk kind of stuff, especially when I started playing bass. But that's kind of what I grew up on. I had older sisters that listened to a lot of R&B.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so how do you feel like you fit into the Pittsburgh music scene, which, has always been sort of either blue collar or with Rusted Root really hippie-ish, or, I mean, that's a little different than you hear some of the other people talk about.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I've been lucky to play with a lot of different bands that do different types of things. Yeah. And when I first heard the Buzz Poets, which was the band I was, the biggest band I was in, I guess, their stuff just blew me away. Like I'd never heard anything like it before.
Yeah.
So when I first heard that, I've booked and I bartended a lot and booked a lot of venues, and that's usually where I found myself. I would be, behind the bar plus booking the bands, and I was doing that at a place called CJ's Clubhouse up in Indianola, and that's when I first met the Buzz Poets. They handed me a 4-song CD,
yeah,
and I took it home and listened to it, and I was like, wow, I was blown away.
Yeah.
So I went back to Phil McDowell and I said, hey, I want to work with you guys. Do you guys need a manager? And he said, yeah. So I connected with them, started managing the band, and I did that for a while until they needed a bass player at one point, and so I stepped in and filled that slot, and then I did all the jobs, booking, managing, and playing, and it was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have a loyal fan base. Tell us about your fans.
They're great. Love them. They really turn out, and I'm really been amazed that they came out. Still to this day, that they like last time we played Jurgle was a packed house, and when we play at the winery in the cellar, same thing. So it's been it's been a blessing for us, really.
Very cool. Very cool.
When you were at IUP, did you have a background did you study business?
Yeah. So I got a degree in economics.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I was a pre-med major until I joined a fraternity in a band, and I said, well, this isn't going to work.
Did you ever imagine that people would still be turning out for you like this, decades later? I mean, this is like you've been in a band for
forever.
Forever.
I've been in a band. I've always been in a band ever since I started. Yeah.
Wow.
I had imagined a lot of things, but the fact that they're still coming out is amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so let's talk a little bit about when you were coming up. In the Buzz Poets, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You were sort of one of those bands that seemed to play a lot. You're all over the South Side. I think you did 200 shows a year, right?
We averaged 200 shows a year for 8 years straight, touring and locally, but it was mostly regional, but we did tour a lot. We did the Ernie Ball Battle of the Bands, and then we wound up doing the Warped Tour that year.
Yeah, you guys opened for a lot of big bands.
We did a lot of that, yes, which was great. And like people like Brian Drusky and the Caesar Angler used to help put us on a lot of those shows, which really helped us develop and grow.
Yep. But no record label, right? You were always.
We never got signed.
Right.
No. So we were at the table.
Yeah.
And when 9/11 happened.
Oh wow.
We were we were that close, and then everyone
man.
said, "Yeah, we're not doing anything right now." And so that's how it went down.
So before the show started, we were talking about your love of wine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did that start?
I fell in love with wine. I wasn't a wine drinker until. So we were doing a photo shoot for one of the Buzz Poets records, and after the photo shoot, we were invited to hang out because there was grapes on the way, and a few people were coming to help make wine. So we were like, "Yeah, that sounds fun." So we did that, and I was amazed at the whole process and like the scientific side of it and the art of it, and then just the wine itself. And so I made a barrel of wine that year, and I was hooked. The wine came out good, and I was totally hooked. And from that point forward, for about 6 years, a group of about 6 guys got together and made wine, and we kept making more and more until eventually we got a license. And then I did that for a few years, and then I wanted to start a music venue. Mm-hmm. So I broke off and started the Pittsburgh Winery.
Right. With your fiance, is that what I read?
Yeah, that was my former fiance.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah. And how do you make that jump from music to owning a venue? How do you decide that that's going to be the thing you want to do?
It was a natural progression from bartending and booking venues to just starting a venue.
Yeah.
It was pretty much the same thing, only more work.
Yeah.
A lot more work.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you I guess you're right. You do have to. You spend a lot of time booking the bands that were there. It really became one of Pittsburgh's premier outlets for bands, right? I mean, everybody seems to play there at some point or another.
Yeah, and our roots are pretty deep as far as what we have relationships with all these. We call them legacy bands now.
Yeah,
we all
isn't that sad?
because we all are.
We're all legacy something.
Yes, but those bands that used to play at Nick's Fat City, which was our home, kind of coming when we all came up. A lot of those bands have been playing our room, like Brownie Mary, Chelsea, and New Invisible Joy, and Gathering Field, and. Yeah.
So. And I'm curious how you feel you guys fit in with that scene. Like, you were coming up at the same time as sort of Nixon Clocks, right?
Yeah,
and a lot of those, but you were all so different.
We were.
How does Pittsburgh cultivate and then cultivate a scene like that and then manage to keep it thriving for so long?
Yeah. I don't know. I think that variety was the coolest part of it.
Yeah.
Because you can go see something different every night. It wasn't all cookie cutter.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so is it the same with the club? I mean, when you're making wine, are you thinking about, is it you're thinking about what you can do with one particular grape or one particular kind of wine, or are you just thinking, I want to try all kinds of? I mean, what's it like?
Well, it's I don't know. It's kind of similar to making music and songwriting. I mean, every wine that we make is different. What we would do was myself and my business partner Anthony Jardine we would source grapes from places where we really enjoyed the wine in the first place. So you start with the wine and say, okay, this wine's great. Let me go to the winemaker and see if they'll sell us some grapes.
Oh.
And most people don't realize that most of them will. So you could buy the grapes, and then I would pick their brains. Say, like, how'd you make it so good? How'd you make this happen and that happen? And they're very forthcoming. The wine industry is really, really wonderful like that. And they don't keep it very close to the vest. Everyone wants everyone else to make good wine.
That's great.
Kind of like the music scene in Pittsburgh.
Right.
What part of your personality ties winemaking and making music together?
It's all experiential.
Yeah.
It's all elevates. So, and I wanted to have a club because I wanted a place where people could go and forget about their troubles, and just be elevated and lost in the whole ambiance, the aromas, the beauty of the venue, the wonderfulness of the music, the aromas of the wine, all that.
Yeah.
Love it.
Were you still playing in the Buzz Poets when you opened up the and by that I mean were you guys playing out regularly when you started the club?
No. So we kind of quit full time. Was that around 06, 05, 06? Didn't open the venue until 11.
Okay.
So yeah, there was a time in between there where I was buying and fixing houses and I built a rental portfolio, and then I converted that portfolio into grapes and into wine.
Wow. Well.
Oh my goodness.
So I know that there's I can't remember the name of the movie, but there's a movie about wine, winemaking that became in California, right?
Sideways.
Yeah, Sideways.
Sideways,
That-
yes.
that, that sort of kicked off people's interest or reinvigorated people's interest in winemaking. But it seems like beer has always been more popular. But there is a whole culture, right, of winemakers and people that are doing this.
Yes. Yeah, I know the beer culture in Pittsburgh.
Really, the wine culture is really big in Pittsburgh. There's a huge scene.
Yeah,
I mean, it's huge here.
It's grown, yes,
Yeah,
for sure. You know, it's catching up to the beer scene, but
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
It is.
Yeah, I know that there was there's been a couple of stores. There was one in Monroeville. There was one in Green Tree that you could buy supplies at. Where did you get all of your stuff, and how do you scale that up?
I would get them through. My wine guy is Ronnie Casertano, and he was with Consumers Produce, and he's still involved in the wine industry, and he's really championed us, since 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, from the time you were in a band to now, Pittsburgh has changed, right? When you started playing, Pittsburgh still had a lot of that sort of blue collar, scene about it. And now it's known more for, being a foodie kind of place, right? And that sort of probably ties right in with what you've been doing all of this time. How have you seen it shift over your career?
Besides cassettes to streaming.
Right.
Right. I know, that's kind of where it started. And
Yeah, right.
wow, I mean, the food scene's evolved. Certainly, the music scene evolved from more of that blue collar, rock and roll, dirty rock and roll kind of stuff, to more variety.
Yeah.
So now there's great artists in every genre.
Yeah.
And that's something we like to do in the venue, is to present all of that stuff, because it's all so good in its own right.
Well, what about in terms of the clubs themselves? When you mentioned Nick's Fat City, I know you've played many of the clubs throughout it, right? But a lot of them are gone now.
Sure.
So what were some of your favorites, and what do you think about the scene, how it's developed, pre and then post-COVID?
Right. So a lot of great venues over the years, starting with Graffiti. That was a big one for me. I played there several times, did a graffiti rock challenge, and had great times at that place. And of course that went under in 2000, I think, is when they closed. And then shortly, then Nick's Fat City pops up, and they had such a great run, and then then they closed.
Yeah.
Rosebud, Metropole, all those places, they all come and go. Laga. And that's the the lifespan of a music venue. It just kind of grows and then goes away. And
Why is that?
I understand now.
Yeah.
Because it's a difficult thing. It's a labor of love to operate a music venue, and anyone who's done it will tell you the same thing, is that you don't do it to get rich. You do it for the passion and love of the music and supporting the artists, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And most people that I know that do it or have done it until they couldn't do it anymore. There was nothing left to give.
Yeah.
And
So I'm curious, is this the kind of thing that ends up costing the venue owners money in the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody's walking away with a pile of money. Is that right?
nobody's walking away with anything.
Yeah.
You put it all in till there's nothing left to give.
Yeah.
And that's just how it goes. And that's a choice.
Right.
And a choice that others and myself were willing to make. And that's
And you were doing it for 15 years. Was it 15
yes,
years?
yeah. The original Pittsburgh Winery was started 15 years ago.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we haven't mentioned it, but you announced yesterday,
A couple days
ago,
yeah.
that the venue's closing.
Yeah.
And originally I was confused because it said, we want to thank the bands or something like that. And I thought, they're they're just going to concentrate on the food side. And then I dug a little deeper and found out it's going to. That has to be very painful.
Sure. Yeah. It's heartbreaking, you know, and it's, you know, not something that happened overnight. You know, you could see that, you know, train coming for a while.
Yeah.
Just based on the numbers, you know, and like I said, every other music venue owner that I've, you know, talked with, they're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
You know, independent music venues are going down around the country at a rapid pace, and it's bad. It's bad for the industry. It's bad for the, you know, the artists that are just coming up that need a place to perform, you know, and see if they got what it takes.
Right. Yeah. I do think, I'm just going to pick a genre here, like hair metal, right?
Mm-hmm.
That the worst of those bands was still playing 340 nights out of the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they really got good at creating a set and you know, honing their chops and figuring out songwriting. And now everything seems to be on YouTube, right? So that makes it harder, I think, on both ends, right? Like a club like yours really did a service for the bands in so many different ways and the audience.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Well, there's nothing like having a show to prepare for, to get your chops up, you know, to get good, to get tight, you know, because you don't want to go out there and suck.
So do you believe that Pittsburgh has a really big supportive system between bands?
Yes. Yeah, the scene is, I think, just as tight-knit now as it was back in the Knicks Fat City days when we were all going out and supporting each other. Yeah. I've seen that in the cellar a lot, where people come support each other, and it's wonderful. You know?
Do other local bands sit in with you? I mean, you sit in with
yes.
Kelsey sometimes. Yeah. Who sits in with you guys?
So like I do a thing with Anthony Vincent Jardine. So he does his own. He's my business partner. He does his own solo stuff, or his music, and then we also do a thing called Clunkers and Friends, and that's where we get. You know, we get horns up with us. We get three or four or five different singers to come up. We learn their songs or cover songs that they want to do, and it's like a showcase. And you know, we like last time we had everyone from John Pergel doing Allman Brothers to Big Just, you know, doing hip hop stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's gotta be fun as a bass player.
Yeah. Oh, it's a blast. Yeah. Especially to learn all the different stuff and to go from one thing to another.
Right.
And it's a great show for the audience too, because they get to, you know, it's not just one thing.
Yeah. How many employees do you have at the winery?
They come and go like any kind of other thing, but you know, probably 20 at a time. But you know, 4 or 5 a shift.
Yeah,
you know?
and what's that feel? I don't want to get too heavy, but I'm sure there's a sense of responsibility that you feel for your employees.
Absolutely. Fortunately, they pretty much all have other jobs, so you know, this was a part-time side hustle for them, which still, you know, it still hurts because people rely on that little, you know, that extra income.
Yeah.
But what I found was that the sense of family that we had at the venue was a lot deeper than I thought it was.
I'm sure.
You know? It's been really emotional for us.
Yeah, I'm sure. And this has to feel like part of Pittsburgh to your employees, to the people who come there week after week to support whatever shows. I mean, this is a part of the Pittsburgh cultural scene, right?
Yeah.
And I think that the scene collectively feels it whenever we lose one of these venues that mean so much to people.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew it meant a lot to people, but I didn't realize how much it meant. You know, the past several shows since we made the announcement have been, you know, super emotional. You know, we've all been crying our eyes out during shows, and you know, like the guy that was just in here earlier, Jeff Taylor, was one of the songwriters on Sunday, and he made the whole room break down. It was just, you know,
wow,
it happens.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, we're getting through it.
Yeah.
You know, he characterized it as like an Irish wake, because we're doing this for about a month.
Yeah.
You know, before we're said and done.
Right.
Well, on that note, we're going to take one more quick sponsor break, and we'll be right back. Support for the Gen X Pittsburgh podcast comes from Potomac Station Coffee House in Dormont. Serving fresh brewed coffee, house-made pastries, and seasonal specialty lattes, Potomac Station Coffee House is proud to support local storytelling and community. Hi guys, it's Valerie and David with the Gen X Pittsburgh podcast with your Gen X Culture Drop for the week of August 4th through the 11th.
arts and culture drop.
David, what do we have happening this week for our fellow Gen Xers?
On August 4th, at the Lindsay Theater and Cultural District in Sewickley, the summer series 9 on 90s continues, playing the movie Boys in the Hood. It's the 35th anniversary of that movie, which is unfreaking believable.
I know, I can't believe it's been that long. And on Thursday, August 6th, New Invisible Joy will be performing at the Poetry Lounge. Now, John Schischler was on our podcast a couple of months ago. Love him, love his band. If you're a fan, be sure to check it out. And on Friday, August 7th at Vinoski Winery in Ross River, Drusky Entertainment presents the Super 70s Rock Show. That'll take us back to our childhood, right? And then on Saturday, August 8th, there's also Rock, Reggae, and Relief 2026 with UB40 and G Love and Special Sauce. How cool is that going to be? The show is crafted by 84 Lumber, and that's happening in Market Square at 11:30.
It's a comedy night with former guest Jim Crenn. He's going to be at Trails to Ales 2, and that night's busy. The Buzz Poets are also going to be performing. They're going to be at Jurgles.
I know.
So you could go see some comedy and then some rock.
That's right. And then on Sunday, August 9th, it's the Southside Market at 2120 Jane Street, and it goes from 10 to 2. Now, that's the Vellum Brewing, and they're going to have everything from juice bars, hot sauce, to peace, love, and daisies.
What's happening on Monday?
On Monday, August 10th through the 16th is Pittsburgh Restaurant Week. Oh my gosh, I love that. That's so much fun.
Pittsburgh has a lot of great restaurants.
And there's going to be dozens of restaurants participating.
Yeah, I think like more than 30.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a lot to sample.
It's going to be good.
All around the region.
Yeah. On Tuesday, August 11th, the Priory Hotel on the north side, starting at 6 p.m., they're going to have their summer concert series. They're going to have good food and tasty libations. I love the north side. I love that neighborhood. I used to live on that street, actually. And don't forget, you can join us here at Potomac Station Coffee House in Dormont for a live taping of our podcast. Our guest next week is Mike Hof. He is the co-owner of the Church Arcade.
I'm so excited about that.
I know.
That is my wife's former church in Duquesne.
Yep.
It's an arcade now. It has like every classic arcade game, pinball game. It's a fascinating place if you are this much of a kid at heart.
Yeah. Well, that wraps up our culture drop for this week. Have a great week, Pittsburgh, and may your parking chair be exactly where you left it. Welcome back to the Gen X Pittsburgh podcast. We're back with Tim Gaber. Okay, so what's on the horizon for you? What's coming up next for you?
Well,
any plans?
Near term, I don't have any plans at all.
Wow.
Long term, I plan on doing nothing for as long as I can possibly do it.
Yeah.
After this is all said and done, but for the next several weeks, we have a lot of shows at the venue including the Buzz Poets. We're going to be playing there on August 7th in the cellar. And then we have a Big Justin Lindsay Smith. They're there August 1st. Ruben's Painted Mandolin does Jerry Garcia stuff, and they're having a whole bunch of people join them. So it's going to be a big party with them. It's on August 8th. And then we're doing our grand finale on August 15th. And that's going to be basically all of our friends are going to come play music. I don't know who's going to be on it, but I'm sure it's going to be wonderful.
Any vacations planned? Any?
Not yet, but soon. Okay. Yes, yeah.
And is that date hard? I know that, like when the Beehive announced it was going to close, it was September, October, and then it became November, December, and then it became January as more and more people, talked about how much they were coming back. And
yeah, I mean it's hard. I think it's hard. Yeah. It's August 15th. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a hard date. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be missed. That's for sure.
Right. And so the Buzz Poets you have 3 shows coming up. Right?
Oh yeah. We're playing the Cellar on August 7th. We're playing at Jurgles on August 8th. With a band from the Blast from the Past, Distorted Penguins. They're going to be playing with us. We used to play with them back in the day. Oh, and then on August 7th, Latecomers playing with us in the cellar, and Rich Anthony's one of the guys that works with us at the venue. Okay. So that's going to be, and Anthony Vincent Jardines is going to get up and do songs with us too. So it's going to be kind of like that's what I described earlier, where it's just everyone's going to do stuff.
Very nice.
And then we're playing a Big Rail Brewing up in Grove City on Sunday the 9th.
Very cool.
And you're the guy that's putting all this together, right? You're still managing the band,
Yeah, I guess more or less. Yeah.
Yeah,
I do the bookings and management. And,
booking flights for the guys that are out of town, right? I
Right.
mean, and all of that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's still a lot of work. So you're saying, well, I'm nothing, right? But it sounds like if you play a couple of times a year, you're still gonna have a little bit of work that you're doing in between.
Sure. And then promoting and
Yeah.
doing podcasts.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah. And so if people, the music industry has changed so much, right? Like you can't walk into a National Record Mart anymore and pick up a copy of the Buzz Poet's newest CD, right?
Yeah.
How are people streaming? What happened?
There are streaming, yeah, and it's challenging because of some of the streaming services. All of a sudden your songs aren't there, and then you have to figure out how to get them back up there. And,
Right.
And, that kind of happened to us. So
Yeah.
we're recreating a record that we recorded live at Graffiti, and it was called Alcohol Abuse Live.
Right.
So we're redoing that record from front to back, and it's not even up. You can't find it anywhere.
Wow. So you're doing live recordings of it? Is that right?
Well, this was a live recording, so it was
Yeah,
live.
but you're not redoing.
Yeah.
Like, are you re-performing
We're
the album?
performing the record just from front to back,
Okay.
just because it'll be a lot of fun because
Yeah.
it was like from '99.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh,
Okay.
that would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have some fun. We have a segment called the Rapid Fire Rewind. It's very simple. We're just going to ask you a question and you have to pick which one you like better.
Which one I like better?
Yeah, you ready?
I'm ready.
Iron City or Rolling Rock?
Rolling Rock.
What's your favorite band?
Gosh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I can never answer that
Yeah?
one. It depends on what genre.
Okay. Well, so alternative. Well, how about two? Alternative and local.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Okay.
think I can name it.
All right.
I don't think I should name it.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. You get a lot of people mad at you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That was what I was going to say, but I didn't want to.
Okay, Three Rivers or Heinz Field?
Heinz.
Okay.
What's your? Might be another one, right? But what's your favorite alternative or Gen X movie?
Ooh. You know what's funny is I'm so bad with movies
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. No Rocky, Striking Distance.
I mean, those are good ones. Yeah.
Breakfast Club?
Yeah, Breakfast Club. Yeah, that's a good one.
Turner's or Schneider's?
Wow, Turner's.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite Saturday morning cartoon? I'm betting you don't. You seem to be
I-
a guy that was always on the move.
Yes, right. Yeah, I didn't watch a lot of cartoons either.
Yeah.
Okay.
sorry.
It's okay. Donzi's and Chauncey's or Metropole and Rosebud?
Metropole and Rosebud.
Of course, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was your first concert?
I went to see The Who at the Civic Arena.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
So,
it was in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
man, that was the original band, right?
Yeah,
All
yeah,
four
yeah.
of them.
Oh,
was-
yeah.
Wow.
That's some first concert.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That
How
was
do
a
you
good
live
one.
up to that? How do the Buzz Poets live up to that?
I don't think we do.
Southside Beehive or Oakland Beehive?
Southside.
Okay.
I'm
Thank
quite
you.
confident you're not going to have an answer for this.
Okay.
Atari or Nintendo?
I didn't play either.
Did you play PlayStation or
I did.
Xbox?
No.
Never sitting backstage in the green room.
No, I
okay.
never played the
Okay.
video games at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Merlot or Cabernet?
Ooh, it depends on the one, but Cabernet I love them both.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're picking a wine off the shelf, what are you grabbing?
Camus or anything Orange Swift.
Okay.
David has no
Yeah, you're
idea
talking
what
beyond.
Yeah.
You're talking beyond me at this point.
Big California Reds are my jam.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're more domestic than you are.
Yeah. Although I do love South American wines and I love them all, Italian,
Yeah.
French,
Yeah.
but yeah, California wines are special.
Yeah, and what about we had Dave DeSimone. Do you know Dave?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had Dave DeSimone on a little while ago, and he's always said, I used to produce his radio show,
Oh,
and he's
okay.
always said that you can find a good bottle of wine for about $15.
Any price point, yeah.
Yeah, it's. Do you have a favorite budget line?
Trying to think of what I actually haven't bought wine in quite a while.
Yeah. No, you make it, I guess.
Yeah,
Right?
I have a big cellar.
Okay. On that note, you don't have to answer that.
Okay.
But thank you so much for joining us.
You're
This was so
welcome.
much fun, and we wish you the best of luck.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you
for
so much.
joining us
Yeah.
here tonight
I
on
appreciate
the
that.
Gen X Pittsburgh podcast. We'll see you guys next week. The Gen X Pittsburgh podcast hosts are David and Valerie Christopher. Executive producer, David Rulo. Producer and graphic designer, Kim Rulo. Producer, Valerie Christopher. Video production and editor, Brent Isaac. Music by Neosound. Underwritten by Potomac Station Coffee House.